As the second instalment of this course of Henry VIII, we will be exploring the evolution of Wolsey's position in Henry's court and as a religious figure. Firstly, I will go through key words for this video. Lord Chancellor is the title that refers to the King's closest advisor and the most important post in Henry VIII's government. A Lord Chancellor is responsible for advising the King on all matters, whereas a Royal Almoner is a title in charge of giving charity to the poor, highly skilled in financial matters. Autorex is the Latin word for second king, so in other words, a king that is second in command, which was often used to describe Wolsey. A cardinal is a high-ranking church official just below the Pope, of high status within the clergy. Papal legate is also a title within the Church, which is the personal representation of the Pope in a foreign country. This means it outranks all other clergy in the English Church. A chaplain is a member of the clergy who works for one person or institution. Wolsey's rise to power is particularly curious as he did not come from a place of generational wealth or esteemed titles. Like most people that grew up powerful in this hierarchical period, he was instead the son of an Ipswich butcher. Being born in 1471, his father was moderately wealthy and paid for Wolsey to receive a very good education, which propelled him to Oxford University to become a priest in 1486, and then became a priest in 1498. Following this, in 1501, he began working for the Archbishop of Canterbury as a chaplain. In 1507, he was appointed as royal chaplain to Henry VII and later on became royal almoner. When Henry VIII's reign commenced, Wolsey was appointed to the Royal Council, which was the perfect opportunity to form a relationship with the young and immature king. In taking over all his tedious duties revolving around money, during 1512 to 1513, Wolsey organised the army for war against France and Scotland and completed the task very successfully, allowing Henry to trust him and considering him for later higher positions, such as Lord Chancellor. In 1514, Wolsey became Bishop of Lincoln and Archbishop of York, further on becoming a cardinal appointed by the Pope, and Lord Chancellor and Chief Minister appointed by the King in 1515. Later on, in 1518, he became Papal legate. Wolsey's 4 crucial steps to power, which is the major parts of the timeline. Firstly, he attended Oxford University, studied to become a priest at 15 years old. He became treasurer of his college and started a rebuilding program. Secondly, he worked for Henry VII and later Henry VIII. He became royal chaplain and royal almoner to Henry VII, which made him part of the royal council. This gave him access to Henry VIII. Thirdly, he was appointed as Lord Chancellor in 1515 because of his excellent planning of an army for war with France, a top position in Henry's government. Finally, he was appointed as Papal legate in 1518, outranking all clergy in England, and was referred to as an autorex, second only to the king. Wolsey's position in power was filled with wealth due to his multiple influxes of money from both the king and the church. As Wolsey was England's most senior official in the first half of Henry VIII's reign, as he was Lord Chancellor, he was earning an income that meant he was 10 times richer than his nearest rival. Wolsey was also one of England's most important churchmen, being Archbishop of York, which was the second most important religious appointment in England after the Archbishop of Canterbury. This entitled him to £3,000 a year, which is equivalent to £1 million today. For the Archbishop of York title alone, this made him incredibly rich, and he chose to indulge in many palaces, including York House and Hampton Court. Wolsey also undertook many projects and funded many artists, as well as musicians, being responsible for the creation of Cardinal College in Oxford, cementing his important political role. In his governing style, He was known to be ruthless to execute Henry's wishes, sidelining opponents by having them jailed or financially ruined through expensive lawsuits. Next lesson will focus on Wolsey's domestic and foreign policies.